Alright guys, before we get into the video, let's talk about futtrading.co.uk. Every single method you see in my videos can be found over on the website with buying and selling prices for almost every single card on the game. £10 a month gets you access to tier 1 buying prices. That's icons, special cards, silvers and Thursday flips. For £15 a month, you get access to tier 2. That gives you live filters, gold chem styles, UCL cards, and our amazing area of fluctuations where the market is continually monitored for highs and lows. You guys are then notified when to buy low and buy and sell high, basically. A really easy way to make coins. We've recently introduced a tier 3 thanks to you guys asking for us to develop a bot. Basically, we came up with a program and what it does is it pings you every single minute pretty much. I think it's every 3 minutes. You will get pings telling you when cards are low and what to sell those cards for. I'm going to show you an example of that now. I'll be right back. Alright guys, and this is the area of the Discord for tier 3 users. As you can see, it is pinging you guys with the current price of these cards and the live target sell price. You have to cross-reference that with what the sell price has been recently and use some of your own market knowledge, but this runs 24 hours a day to make sure you guys are getting continual deals that you can keep making coins from. The legitimate way, a new ping's just come up right there for new cards that you can go out right now, buy and sell. So check it out, get involved, futtrading.co.uk, but for now, let's get into the video. Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a new video with me, Fuzzball40. As always, if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe down below and make sure your notifications are turned on so you never miss an upload. If you haven't done it yet, make sure you check out the Road to Glory every morning. Basically, we started a brand new Road to Glory. I think it was 6 days ago exactly now. We've made about 1.4 million or so on that Road to Glory this week. Built an insane team and we're heading into Foot Champs for that, so make sure you check that out. But this series, we are trading to Prime Moments R9. At the beginning of the week, we started at 3 million coins. We've still got Schmeichel selling on the transfer pile and loads of silver selling. I've spent 300k on this account this week. So we're somewhere in and around about 2 million coins made in a week with very little effort whatsoever. I'll talk about these silvers in a second. Let me just relist up the Schmeichel. But yeah, basically we're in a very, very good place at the moment. Grinding it out. And the account should be well over 5 million coins by the time I'm done today. But this video is all about Tots and what's happening tonight, it being Friday, and what you should be looking for in the short to long term. Now, I brought a video out like this last week, and if you followed my advice last week, you would have made a huge amount of coins. Firstly, in the silvers from the Premier League that obviously came back yesterday, like I said to you guys, I advise you like significantly, do not go and buy loads of the same card, buy one of each was what I said. A lot of you went and did that and made a huge amount of coins. The Premier League silvers right now are through the roof. I've just sold that Leeds goalkeeper that I picked up for 800 coins, I think, last week for 6,900 coins, something like that. Let me just check. 6,900 coins. I made 6,000 coins profit on one silver alone. And that's achievable every single time we get silver supply, which I'll explain for you in a minute. We've got a couple of things to talk about today, so I'm going to get into it. We're going to start off over on Footbin. I'll be right back. Alright, you legends, welcome over to Footbin. And this is the Premier League Tots team. Now, you might be wondering why I'm talking about the Premier League Tots team and not the potential Liga Santander Tots team. We will get to that. But this is exactly what I told you about last week. These cards go into packs and they do whatever. You can talk about the Tots themselves all you want. What I'm really interested in is the gold cards themselves. Because with the Community Tots team, when those gold cards came out of packs, a lot of them rocketed and we saw the exact same pattern this week in terms of the ones that made you most of your profit. So, let's start about Marcus Rashford. So obviously he's got a Tots card, 2.96 million. His 85 rated card is currently 30,000 coins on the market on Xbox, 23,000 on PlayStation. And this is what he's done in the last month. Now here is where the team came out. The Premier League team of the season came out on Friday the 30th. And he was at 18,000 coins. He spiked into weekend to 21, but actually came down. Like I said they did. They always do that. And by Wednesday he was down at 19,000 coins. He's now up at 30,000 coins on PlayStation. And he's up at 24,000 coins on Xbox. This is because when he goes out of packs for Weekend League, that's fine. He goes out of packs. And people tend to not buy these cards. There's so much supply of these cards still on the market that initially, they rise a little bit for Weekend League with demand of people building their teams, 2, 3k. But then after that, there's no demand for them. During the week, not many people are building teams. They're selling their teams, trading, grinding the game. There's not a huge demand for these cards. So if anything, they sort of, sometimes, they dip down in price. And then this Weekend League coming, every single person's gone and got these Premier League picks in their packs. And so Rashford is a perfect link to these people because he's English. He's an easy link to loads of players. Luke Shaw, for example. And he spikes. And so the demand for him increases exponentially. And now he's up extremely high. Now, if you'd have bought in on the Friday, when he came out into packs. Right now, you'd be looking at about 12,000 coins profit per card before tax. Basically, about 10,000 coins profit a card is what you're looking at on Rashford, which is ridiculous. KDB, if you remember last week, I said to you, avoid the high tier cards. Yes, they're profitable, but in terms of return on investment, it's a lot lower. If you look at KDB last Friday, was at 59,000 coins, got up to 63. There's a little bit of a rise there. Some people sold them, like, oh, it's not really gone up in price. I said to a lot of people, hold for a bit longer. He dipped, climbed a little bit, and now he's at 68,000 coins on both consoles. So from a buy point last Friday, you're looking at about 5,000 coins profit on PlayStation, which isn't that high. About 10,000 Xbox. And this is why I said, avoid the high rated cards like the plague. You don't really need to, because the reason why the lower end cards spike is because they're fodder. So Rashford, for example, can be put into an 85 rated squad like for Tielemans. They're used as fodder quite consistently, and they're used in sort of SBCs for like the daily SBCs and stuff like that, the lower end stuff. A 91 Kevin De Bruyne is not often going to be put into an SBC like that, so he won't tend to spike in price massively, and so it's something to be mindful of. João Cancelo, if you remember last week I talked about Wan-Bissaka, and this was the guy that I called and said he has the potential to rise the most. He's a usable right back. He's 83 rated for fodder. He's a right back in general, a full back, which is good for chemistry for SBCs. And again, last week on the Friday, 6,900, and the spike in him has been pretty damn heavy, especially on Xbox. He's up as high as 11. On PlayStation, it says he's 8.4 at the moment, but he's rising more and more as time goes on. I would expect to see him get as high as 9k today. But these are the ones that have tended to do very, very well. Luke Shaw again, if we look at Luke Shaw here, last Friday at 2,900, climbed up to 4,100 at his high, 4,200 there, before dipping back down again now. This is with SBCs that he's risen this high. Again, the return on investment on him is staggering. If you're looking at 2,900, that's the average price. You would have been able to buy him cheaper than that, remember that. He's 2,900 at the moment, and then he goes up to 4,100. So 1,200 like climb. It's not far off a 50% return on investment on Luke Shaw. Mason Mount, again last Friday at 2,500. He's now spiked to 3,400 on PS today, 3.6 on Xbox. But at its high yesterday, 3.1. It was actually higher on PlayStation today. So he's at its high on PlayStation, and 3.7. Again, from his point of lower 2.5 here, it's basically a 50% return on investment again here. And Thomas Souček, again, last Friday, as low as 1,200, 1,200, and then climbed up to 1.4 on Xbox. Hasn't really done the same on PlayStation, though. The demand hasn't really been there on PlayStation, so it's something to be mindful of. This sort of card does well on Xbox. I don't think it does anywhere near as well on PlayStation. If you'd have bought it earlier in the week, you could have got an even better deal on him. So from the Friday, Saturday, he got down as low as 1. So you're looking at about a 50% return on investment, but he hasn't done as well as you'd like to see for PlayStation. He's sort of held a little bit low. Today's sort of where he's got his high at 1.4. It's good in terms of return on investment, but I'd rather go with something like a Mount or a Shaw. I think they've got better legs. They're Premier League English players. They're good for linking and whatnot. That's why we're looking at. And so my advice to you for the La Liga Tots tonight is do not preempt it. Do not preempt what we're going to get. I would wait until the Tots team is released and you know what it's going to be, and then I'd think about buying in. Now, I think a lot of these dips in some of the cards on the Saturday, not all of them, is because people buy these cards once the Tots team is released, and then they expect them to rise instantly, and they don't. They rise gradually over the course of a week. And that's when people go into panic mode and go, I'm going to sell them. But don't preempt the La Liga Tots. You don't need to do that. What I would be doing with La Liga Tots, we all know, for example, Benzema's going to get one and things like that, is I'd wait until they're released, and then I'd look at the cards that are either needed for League SBCs, because that's vitally important. I look at cards that are needed for League SBCs for certain. I'd be looking at cards that are needed. Let me look at what's for far now. Where is this? There's this card there. When was this last updated? 19 hours ago. So he's spiked basically from where he was. Again, don't trust silver prices on Footbin. But I'd be looking at ones that are needed for League SBC. If any of them are, I don't know, the only striker that team has that's gold, they'll do very well. I look at the cards that are good for fodder. So whether they're 80 rated or 81 rated, there might be a left-back Spanish, for example, Nacho Monreal. He's not getting one, but someone like him. I look at if they're needed for fodder. And if they're needed for fodder for SBCs, that could do very, very well. They're the guys that I'd be looking at tonight and punting. Now, I'll be doing this live on stream on my Road to Glory. So you guys can keep a track on that. And obviously, like I did last week, I gave you some shouts like Harry Maguire, and it went very well. But that's what I'd be looking at for certain. But what we're now going to do is head back over to the game, and I want to talk to you about the silvers and how they're going to be affected by supply and what they've done this week and how you can make a lot of coins. You guys have seen on the Road to Glory, I've made about 500,000 coins this week just trading with silvers. So I'm going to show you what you do. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so back on the game. And silvers are through the roof at the moment in some aspects. Not in all aspects, but in some aspects. Huesca strikers at the moment, these guys keep climbing and dropping quite heavily with supply and without supply. And so these are probably my favourite silvers to trade with at the moment. Purely because, let me go for 3-3 on them. They're consistent. They drop, they climb, they drop, they climb. Now, we just have Premier League Tots, which is arguably the most hyped Tots out of all of them. But there's demand for it left, right and centre. For packing stuff, for opening up La Liga, whatever it's going to be, there's hype. And with that comes the demand for silvers, like I've said before. We had marquee matchups yesterday, but it seems obvious to me that not everyone opened them up. We saw a dip in silvers last night, but we didn't quite see the crash in silvers that I would expect us to see with the supply that we've had recently. Because that's very, very nice indeed. And so basically, what you should be thinking is, where is the demand at the moment going to be? And it's arguably going to be in the major leagues. The minor leagues, it's not going to be there. I wouldn't worry about that too much. All the filters you need are in videos down below, by the way, so go and have a little look at them. But tonight we're going to get silver supply because people are going to have held their packs for certain. They're going to have held their packs without fail. And so, let's say theoretically, we're looking at Huesca CDMs, right? And right now they're 3,500 coins. Tonight I'd be looking for these down at 1.4, 1.5 to buy into them to hold them for a rise like this to 3.4, 3.5. Now, you've got to be mindful that you need to check the price of these before 6 PM. Don't go, oh, well, he recorded this video at 9:55 in the morning, therefore I'm going to buy it based upon those prices. That's not how this works. You've got to know their prices pre-6 PM because supply of them is going to come during the day today from people finishing off doing marquee matchups and stuff like that. And so I'd be very, very mindful of that. But the teams that are doing best at the moment, Huesca, obviously, I love Huesca. They're great to trade with. Elche defenders do quite well. They really tend to climb and drop quite heavily. They're basically the new Cadiz is what I've called them before. They tend to drop, climb and drop very, very heavily all the time. So Elche defenders do very, very well. But the Premier League right now is where a lot of it is at. Now, those of you that went and heavily invested in West Brom against my advice, more for you because you've been stung by the fact that EA changed up the requirements. Buying one of each was the call. And some of you, I think someone DM'd this morning was like, oh, I bought those West Brom, they've gone down. And I said to him, you were warned not to do it. But if you look at someone like Villa, suddenly Villa are becoming one of the teams that are extremely expensive because you require 3 centre-backs. And so their centre-backs are up at 4,000, 5,000 coins at the moment, which is absolutely crazy. Crazy. And we're getting towards what I think is going to be Team of the Season level prices for some of these cards. If you remember during Team of the Season, West Brom guys were 30k, 40k. It was ridiculous. They were through the roof. Look at this. Leeds left-backs, 8,500 coins. And the demand's going to be there throughout this whole promo. There's going to be this demand for all these cards because people are going to want to get packs for League SBC. Goalkeepers at Leagues are expensive. Right backs to Leagues will be expensive unless they've got gold. They've got A-Link. Ignore me on that one. Centre backs will be high, but I don't know if they'll be as high as they could be. But actually, they are. They're genuinely just high. Again, 7,500 coins on those. Absolutely ridiculous. But people are going to continually want to open up the packs throughout this whole promo. So there's some filters for you there that you could be working with. The only thing you've got to be careful with is the Premier League's extremely expensive right now because people have been opening those packs up for the last 24 hours. There's a massive amount of expense gone into buying all the players you needed. Luckily for me on the Road to Glory, I did that thing where I got a lot of them bought up before it came out because I knew it was coming. But silvers are going to be extremely powerful a week. I made 500,000 coins minimum on the Road to Glory in a week just by doing that. Every time we get silver supply, buy in. They are the most consistent thing to trade with at the moment. Nothing is more consistent than that. And by silver supply, we mean, if you look at like Tielemans, a lot of people did him. There was some silver supply from that there. There's 2 packs there that got silver supply. If you look at the UCL marquee matchups, where are they? There they are. UEFA marquee matchups. Did they get any silver supply with them? Premium Electrum Players pack. So silver supply from that. If we look at normal marquee matchups, actually UEFA marquee matchups. Look at normal marquee matchups, which is, I think it's the 4th page, isn't it? 5th page even. Again here, Gold Players pack, Jumbo Premium Gold pack. 1 Prime Electrum pack there from the marquee matchups. And so what you get the opportunity to do is buy into these silvers. But what EA always do during these promos is they withhold silver supply. They don't want silvers cheap because it means you can go and do League SBCs rather than using FIFA points. So why would they want it to high? So they will keep continually withholding silver supply, just dropping little bits of it on there. That's where you can make big profit because people list their stuff low very, very quickly. Within an hour or two, the market's bounced back on silvers. So keep an eye on that. But there you place for tonight. I'm going to be doing the exact same thing on stream. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe down below. Make sure your notifications are turned on so you never miss an upload. But for now, I am out. Peace out. I'll speak to you soon.